You pay off a credit card, you feel that incredible relief. You promise yourself never again. And then 3 months later, it's maxed out again. You're back where you started. Or worse, you're deeper in the hole than before. If you're here right now, you know that soul-crushing cycle all too well. That feeling of being trapped on a hamster wheel you can't escape no matter how hard you run. And I need to tell you something that might hurt. This isn't about the debt. This is about why you keep recreating it. And until you understand that, you'll be stuck here forever. Here's what this really looks like. You work extra hours, you sell stuff, you hustle, you finally pay off that $5,000 credit card. You swear this is it, you're done living like this. You cut up the card, you delete the shopping apps, you make all the promises. But then your car makes a weird noise. Your kid needs something for school. A friend invites you to a wedding. Or maybe nothing happens at all. You just see something you want and that old familiar voice whispers, "You've been so good, you deserve this." And just like that, you're swiping the card you said you'd never use again. Because having available credit feels dangerous, like it's burning a hole in your pocket, like it needs to be used. The shame is suffocating. You beat yourself up. You wonder what's wrong with you that you can't break this pattern. You watch other people get out of debt and stay out, and you can't figure out what they have that you don't. Discipline? Luck? Better circumstances? It must be something external because you've tried everything and nothing sticks. What you're experiencing is called the debt cycle, but it's not really about money. It's about identity. Somewhere deep in your psychology, you believe you're supposed to be in debt, that being in debt is who you are. And every time you start to break free, your subconscious pulls you back to what feels familiar, because familiar, even when it's painful, feels safer than unknown. This pattern usually has roots you don't see. Maybe you grew up watching your parents live in constant debt, so debt feels like what adults do. Or maybe debt serves a purpose you won't admit. As long as you're in debt, you have an excuse for why your life isn't where you want it to be. Let me tell you about Lisa. She's a nurse, makes $60,000 a year, been in debt for 15 years. Not the same debt, she's paid off probably $40,000 in those 15 years, but she's also racked up $40,000. She's like a financial treadmill, working incredibly hard and going absolutely nowhere. Lisa finally went to therapy to figure out why, and what she discovered shocked her. Lisa's older sister was the golden child, perfect grades, perfect career, perfect life. Lisa was the screw-up, the one who struggled, the one who needed help. And being in debt, being the one who was struggling, was the only role she knew how to play. Every time she started to succeed financially, she'd sabotage herself back into struggle because struggle was her identity. What if staying in debt is the only way you know how to be yourself? Lisa doesn't have a debt problem. She has an identity problem disguised as a financial issue. Until she could see herself as someone who wasn't in crisis, she'd keep creating crisis to match who she believed she was. Here's what people don't understand. Debt can be a strange kind of comfort. It gives you something to focus on other than the bigger questions you're avoiding. It gives you an excuse for why you can't pursue dreams or take risks. As long as you're drowning in debt, you don't have to face what you'd do if you were free. The way out starts with getting brutally honest about what debt is doing for you. What does being in debt let you avoid? What does it excuse you from? What would you have to face about yourself or your life if you weren't constantly in financial crisis? These are hard questions, but they're the real questions. Notice the pattern before you repeat it. When you pay something off, what do you feel? If you feel anxious instead of relieved, that's your clue. That anxiety is your old identity panicking because you're not playing your assigned role anymore. Sit with that discomfort instead of medicating it with a new purchase. Create a new story about who you are. Stop saying, "I'm always in debt," or "I'm bad with money." Start saying, "I used to struggle with debt, but I'm learning different patterns." Language shapes identity. Every time you tell the old story, you reinforce it. Tell a new story enough times and it becomes true. And here's the hard part. You have to be willing to be someone new, someone who's not in crisis, someone who's not struggling, someone who has their life together. That might sound amazing, but for some people, it's terrifying, because if you're not the person who needs help, who are you? If you're watching this and thinking, this is me, I want you to know something. Being stuck in the debt cycle isn't about lacking discipline. Your brain learned that debt equals identity. But here's what you need to hear. You don't stay in debt because you're bad with money. You stay in debt because being in debt is the only version of yourself you know, and patterns can be changed. Do you pay off debt just to fall right back into it? Does being debt-free make you anxious instead of free? Drop in "I feel this way" in the comments. You'll realize you're not alone. And if you want to understand more about why you keep sabotaging your financial progress, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. In the next video, we're going to talk about why you feel guilty when good things happen financially and how this guilt is keeping you stuck. See you then.